but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
And welcome everyone to Phoenix International Raceway. Alan Bergen, Shane Cochran in the booth here tonight, and we are getting ready to get gridded up here as we bring you the Icon Cup Series live from Phoenix. And Shane, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. I saw a great race here at Phoenix earlier this evening in real life. Super excited to see what the Icon drivers can do on this tricky 1 mile track.
Yeah, right now we're going to get gridded up, so that means we're going to go over your starting lineup real quickly here. On the pole, it's going to be Cody Neal out of the Buddy Racing or Buddy Motorsports. To his outside will be Travis Gilbert in that 22 car. The owner of Icon will be Ryan Patty. Starting to his outside will be Brian Smith. Jacob Smith will be riding on the inside of that third row, and to his outside will be Braxton DeWeese. While Nathan Finnegan will start on the inside of row number 4, and to his outside will be John Ross. Bentley Glazer will start on the inside of row number 5, while Adam Ball will start on the outside. On the inside of row number 6 will be Ray Lane, and Kyle Gilbert will start on the inside or on the outside of row number 6. Starting on the inside of row number 7 will be Tay McDonald, and to his outside will be Michael Taylor. Kyle Purcell will start 15th, while Kyle Diaz will start 16th. Starting 17th will be Zach Lockett, and Jay Hollingsworth will start 18th. Charles Woods will start 19th, while Michael Jennings will start 20th. 21st will be Nathan Broskowski, while C. Thompson will start in that 22nd position. Patrick Colby will start on the inside on the 23rd, and 24th will be Kevin Gunther. And we are not going to make it through the rest of the field, but we'll highlight those drivers in the back as we get ready to rock and roll, and we get ready to send these guys racing here at Phoenix as the iRacing.com pace car already made its exit on the back straightaway. Cody Neal, Kyle Gilbert with the front row, and we are down and racing here in Phoenix.
Oh, we saw a wiggle right away on the start. They're able to keep it straight. Drama right from the get-go.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Phoenix, Shane, is, you know, this track, when you come off of that turn, what used to be turns 3 and 4 and onto the front stretch, is now an open dog leg. And, you know, it's almost like a land rush. As you see Kyle Gilbert already cutting that dog leg, if you will.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about that all night. It's risky, but it's fast. When you can dive down there and cut some distance off of your lap. But it really unsettles the car, especially these NASCAR Next Gens.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too, is the dog leg will giveth and the dog leg will taketh.
Absolutely.
Working lap 3, and right out of the gate, Jacob Smith sets the fastest lap of the race with a 27.51. Now they're almost qualifying, and 180 laps. This is the 1 mile track that's gone. I think this configuration is now 4 years old, 5 years old.
That feels about right. Yeah, Jacob Smith up 3 positions from the start. Couple drivers taking advantage of these early laps to make big moves. Kyle Purcell up to 10th. That's 5 positions gained for him. Kendall Leveron in 17th, up 9 positions. And John McNeil in 20th, up 10 positions in just 4 laps.
Yeah, already some movers and shakers. And here we are. Make sure you want to thank everybody real quickly for joining us here in the youtube.com live chat, watching on your phones, on your computers. I mean, I even watch on my 65-inch television in my living room. But wherever you may be, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share button, and get those bells ringing. So that way, you're notified anytime the icon comes on the air, and Sim Racing Media and that, for that matter. But here we are back at the front of the field. Travis Gilbert in that Vetatrack number 22. Travis Gilbert has a lot of laps around here. He's a multiple-time winner at this racetrack, and I mean he's almost like a short track specialist, and a lot of these guys are going to be learning from him.
Yeah, he's leading the way right now. I'm not sure I'm seeing anybody getting as low in the dog leg as he is.
I mean,
Jacob Smith hanging tight.
I mean, it looks like he put in a lot of time to practice that line, and that's maybe a line that no one knows about right now. As we're looking a little bit deeper in the field, and there's Ryan Patty, the owner of the Icon Cup Series, and he. I mean, these guys are going to run different lines. Sporting the DeWalt, the DeWalt colors. I love the DeWalt colors. I'm a DeWalt guy myself. I'm a brand specific kind of guy when it comes to tools. I definitely love that car. You're in the youtube.com live chat. Make sure you let us know who you're rooting for. We'll get them guys some screen time. Here we are a little bit deeper in the field. There's the other Vetatrack sponsored number 29 of Teddy McDonald. And, he's another guy that don't count him out, Shane. He's one of those guys that will run good no matter what. He's just, he's a little fish in a bigger pond. But he's going to figure things out, and it's going to take him a minute, but he'll be up there racing for wins before you know it.
Yeah, certainly looking fast out there right now.
So far, we're 10 laps into this 180-lap race. And Shane, earlier, I know you guys are used to hearing Johnson Leach in the booth, and when John's not able to be here tonight, but he's here in spirit in the Tony Trapasso Memorial booth, and he's out there watching. And I've watched Daytona. I've watched the series. You know, this is a great series. I had the pleasure of being in the booth for the Holiday Mixer off-season series, and this is bar none one of the best series that I've gotten to watch over the last few months. As right now we got some movers and shakers. It looks like Kyle Diaz back there trying to catch his counterpart there, Teddy McDonald, and try to make a race out of this as we got a battle heating up here with Ray Lane, and this is a battle for 13th.
And he looks like he's going to try to cross him over on exit. He's looking inside of the 26. He's going to stick it in there and clear him.
Yeah, door bumper clear. You gotta love that number 91 car. Kyle Diaz comes to us out of Colton, California. You know, and here's the great thing about this league, Shane, and not to take anything away from Sunday nights, but a lot of these guys race on Saturday night, which you had the pleasure of following with Mike DeMonte last night. And you can kind of see their driving styles from one league to the other.
Yeah, we're talking about ECR last night. We had a great race at Motegi. Although I'm not sure a lot translates between the Motegi Oval and this track here at Phoenix. Phoenix is one of those ones that just kind of has a little bit of everything. Drivers call it a short track. I think crew chiefs would call it a medium distance track. And it's got heavy braking, tire wear, fuel strategy, and of course that dog leg. And then, you know, you see cars usually 2 wide at most in 3 and 4, but you can see them 5 and 6 wide in turns 1 and 2. You never know what you're going to get lap to lap and turn to turn here at Phoenix. Just a great track.
Yeah, as we say that, we have a lead change, and that is Jacob Smith in that number 4 car, who has taken the lead from Travis Gilbert, and now he's out to almost a 1 second lead. And that's the eyeball test back to Travis Gilbert there and Ryan Patty. Now, Travis Gilbert, he's a long gamer. he's a long gamer. He likes playing the long game.
We're 17 laps in here in this first stage. The stage will be at lap 45. Looking at some of the fuel estimates, I think we can make it, you know, somewhere in the 50s on fuel. So I don't expect anyone to need to pit in this first stage as long as we stay green. But if a caution comes out, you know, anything's fair game at that point.
There we are, Braxton Deweese here, back there riding in that 5th position, hanging on to the top 5 for right now. You know, watching these races over the course of the past few weeks, I feel like that Braxton could be a real contender if he can put one together and stay out of trouble, if you will.
Absolutely. We've talked about him a lot. He's been on screen a lot because he's been at the front. And like you said, I feel like he's just waiting to get a bit of good luck to have a finish that matches the effort he's shown in the middle of the races.
Yeah, it seems like he has a really strong. Beginning, kind of like a lackluster middle, and then he comes on strong again at the end of the race. 39 drivers taking a green flag, 2 drivers already down pit road, and that's Philip Bertka and Chris Camburn.
I'm showing Philip has a black flag. That might be why he's on pit road, and he's been there a while.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to take an extended stay like Holiday Inn. Or Motel 6, rather. They'll leave the light on for you. Ryan Patty, you know, takes over that 2nd position from Travis Gilbert. And as I mentioned, Travis Gilbert's a long gamer, so, you know, we're only 21 laps in. And, you know, he's going to be there he knows how to save those tires. He knows how to be fast doing it. But right now, the story of the day continues to be Jacob Smith in that number 4 car. And, you know, takes the lead. He's still got that 2nd over Ryan Patty. Now, a little bit further in the field, Here's a name that scares me every time you log in to a race and you see this guy, John Ross. I mean, here he is, just making things happen. And, you know, it's kind of crazy to see these guys already sort of single-filed out and they're just playing leapfrog right now.
Yeah, I think that comes down to the tire saving you're talking about. If you're playing the long game here, you don't want to be side by side with anyone if you can avoid it. Find you a spot to settle in, play your game, and then at the end of the run, that's when you can push and see if you save a little more than the next guy.
Yeah, you're 100% right there. And just to touch a little bit on the guys in the back of the field here, is you got, you know, drivers like Ethan Vincali there in that number 85 car, who's got the Rainbow Warriors paint there on the side of the Ford Mustang Dark Horse, and you know he sports the Rainbow Warriors, and you know this is about the time of the year where the proverbial throwback schemes come out for the real world NASCAR race at Darlington.
Yeah, as we take a look at Gilbert under duress again, the 8 car getting by, the 78 coming through on the outside, Brian Smith.
Yeah, Brian Smith. And, you know, Travis Gilbert's going to fall back. He's going to settle in again. And then he's start working his way up to the front. As you said, the stage ends at lap 45. So we'll be talking to the stage winner at that point. But Travis Gilbert falling into the clutches of Cody Neal right now. And, you know, Cody Neal in that Ames Oil sponsored number 38 Dark Horse Mustang. I think cutting the dog leg for Travis Gilbert's almost hurting him right now.
Yeah, in my experience, the dog leg is all about decisiveness. You've got to decide if you're going to do it or not. Right about, you know, maybe 100 feet before the start-finish line, if you wait too long to make the decision and you kind of go just around that yellow line, that's where the car can really get loose. See Gilbert again, he decides early, that's where he's going down. See the 88 coming off the pit road.
Yeah, we got some pit stops happening right now. You know, Sean Purcell, he's coming off pit road. You know, Hanover Fist, Robert Bluin, Steve Tuck. Sorry if I'm butchering some of these names. I'm usually really good at pronunciations.
Yes, we see some cars exiting pit road. One thing to call out here is that dog leg actually drives through the exit of pit lane. So if you get in the habit of cutting down low, you really got to keep your head on a swivel and make sure no one is exiting pit road, because you will drive right into them.
Yeah, you know, it's almost like merging on the interstate at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, rush hour traffic. You know, if you're Travis Gilbert and you cut that dog leg, you may not have any idea that the car getting off of pit road is right there.
That's why we pay the spotters the big bucks.
You're absolutely correct. You're not wrong. But right now, you know, Travis Gilbert doesn't. You know, he started on the outside pole. Now he's fallen out of the top 5, but he's hanging on to that number 6 spot. Bentley Glazer in that number 87 car. This is a fun guy to watch. We get to watch him on Tuesday nights with the Western States Racing League. And Shane, that's a fun one. It's a late night for you guys on the East Coast that watch us, but we are under caution number 1. And I don't have a replay.
Yeah, let me see if I can find something for you. Certainly didn't see anything obvious there.
Nope, we are under caution number 1. And, you know, that's the thing about the good old software that we use is sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But nonetheless, here we are under caution number 1 at lap 31. First caution for cause. Once again, we want to apologize for not having those replays for you. As it looks like our live timing and scoring decided it doesn't want to show replays.
Oh, give me a few minutes. I'll track it down.
Nonetheless, we are here working lap 32 under the first caution of the evening. And Jacob Smith continues to be the leader right now, as Ryan Patty is third, Nathan Finnegan, Ryan Patty is second, Nathan Finnegan running third, Braxton DeWeese running fourth, Brian Smith will round out your top five. Doug Middendorf checking into the youtube.com live chat, rooting on Braxton DeWeese. We hope to have Braxton, on screen a lot tonight, as well as the other drivers in the field. I want to thank everybody for joining us here on this wonderful Sunday night. Happy daylight savings time to everybody. Most of America gets to enjoy the longer daylight hours. As we are getting ready to go get lined up 2 by 2. The lights are out on the Iracing.com pace car and around the speedway. Now, when we come off at turn number 2, turn 1 and 2, the Iracing.com pace car is going to dive off. And that means, Ryan Patty and Jacob Smith, they have to control the field all the way down that back straightaway. So it's almost like a miniature Talladega, Shane, where, you don't quite go green right where you think you're going to go, right where you're supposed to go green at.
Absolutely. It's always a little tricky at any track with that Geico restart zone. You can kind of play it to your advantage as the leader.
And here we are, getting ready to go green. Barney's got that green flag in the air. As the field comes through the Geico restart zone, Jacob Smith on the loud pedal. We are green flag racing once again here on lap number 34 from Phoenix. And everybody thinks about cutting the dog leg and thinks better of it. Jacob Smith gets out to that early lead, and here comes Ryan Patty. Just 2 by 2, and we are under a caution again.
Well, I'm listening to the driver's chat. Someone mentioned their wheel came loose from their rig, causing that caution.
That would be a good reason to cause a caution. Nobody spun out on the racetrack that one, but, you can't race out there with a loose wheel on your rig. Chris DeWeese checking in, rooting on the Braxton DeWeese fans in the house. Good evening, race fans, BDR fans in the house. Let's go number 8. James on Main Ford Mustang, Braxton DeWeese. Braxton DeWeese has got a fan club. Who'd have known? That would be Michael Jennings, who could possibly have the wheel. We don't know. We can't know for certain, but we got a couple of guys coming down hand over fist on pit road. And Shane, while these guys are in the caution, we mentioned pit road and we mentioned the Geico restart zone where it is. This pit road is tricky to get onto because you got to make that long drive at 45 miles an hour on the pit road. So you're at a hot racing surface, and then you got the pit road and those hot tires, and you got to slow that car down from race speed to essentially the speed that you would see on your normal everyday highway.
Yeah, very challenging under green. The other thing that makes it tricky is a lot of people like to get down onto the apron in turns 1 and 2 for a little more grip. And if the guy in front of you doesn't tell you he's pitting, sometimes you can get right into his back bumper without realizing it. I was able to find that previous caution. Looks like it was Cameron Thompson in a 7 car. It was a single car spin. Got that in the feed if you can find it. I'm also looking to see what that most recent caution was. Who was the person with their wheel coming loose?
Well, let's hope they get it fixed this time as we get ready to go back to green. We got the Iracing.com pace car. Their lights are out. The lights are out on the speedway. As the pace truck's going to dive off the racetrack there on the exit of turn number 2. 37 laps in. It's like a reset.
One thing to watch here is the Icon League is using the same rules as the NASCAR Cup Series, where you cannot dive under the yellow line to cut that dogleg until you are past the start-finish line.
That's good to know. That's some great information there. And here we are getting ready to go back to green flag racing. There's the field in the hands of Jacob Smith and Ryan Patty as we get ready to go green, green, green. We are racing here on lap 38. And boy, that's almost like a land rush every time.
Ooh, we can hear some contact back in the field. No quarter given here at 38 laps down. Just a few more to that stage caution at 45.
Well, right here, we're in the 29th position area, right around Brad Duff in the Kevin Gunter area, and they are just, almost 3 and 4 wide. Waylon Turner back there, Michael Jennings, let's see, Ethan Van Collie, Robert Bloom. Sorry if I butchered your name there, Robert. There's that, number 1 car. But how about this car? This car right here. I hope I'm on the right. There it is. Oh boy. If that doesn't take you back. If that car does not take you back. We're going to go high above the speedway here. As we're back up here to the front, that's Brian Smith in that number 78 car. As he wrestles, third away from Nathan Finnegan. And just a little bit further front, there is the battle for the lead. And you can tell them guys just cutting that dog leg. That's that pesky tower gets in the way, but that's okay. There's
Ryan Patty right on the bumper of Jacob Smith.
Oh, there, you're right. You're correct.
He's going to look inside. Smith's going to throw the block. Looks like Patty was polite about it this time. Still early in the race.
Well, so, with the playoff format, these points are so important. So you don't want to do, anything egregious here to, jeopardize that point that you need, because every point matters, especially in this playoff system that they run here at Icon. Here comes, Brian Smith on the inside of Ryan Patty. He's going to wrestle last minute second position away. Ryan Patty's going to go back underneath that 78 car.
Incredible racing here at the front. Everyone fighting for that stage win.
Yeah, right now your top 10 as it stands would be Jacob Smith, Brian Smith, Ryan Patty, Nathan Finnegan, Brexton DeWeese will hold on to that top spot. We got about 2 more laps left here in stage number 1. And, right now it's anybody's game. Bentley Glazer in that number 87 car just right behind John Ross. And if the stage were to end right now, Kendall Levron would have the 10th and final, position to get stage points. Here we are working lap number 45, and Shane, I believe it's the 10th car in line that will trip the caution flag.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think it might be Icon might do it based on the leader. I know real NASCAR does it when that 10th car crosses.
And
yeah,
there
it's
it is.
on the leader. When the leader completes the stage lap.
Stage number 1 goes to Jacob Smith in the 4 car. Brian Smith will finish second. Ryan Paddy will get third. Fourth will go to Nathan Finnegan. Cody Neal will get fifth. Braxton Luis will finish sixth. John Ross seventh. Kyle Purcell eighth. Bentley Glazer ninth. And rounding out your top 10 will be Kendall Levron. And Shane will never. These guys are gonna go down pit road. But when they come off pit road, we'll have a conversation with our stage winner Jacob Smith.
They head down that pit road. You want to get every last bit of speed you can get right before the yellow cone. That's where the speed limit starts applying.
Yeah, and that's a long pit road too that these guys got to come down to get their four tires and services done. And these pit crews are eagerly waiting on that number that these guys to get down. Oh, we got some action going on, some extracurricular activities as your stage winner almost misses it, but still has to back up just a hair.
Yeah, it looks like Brian Smith had to do the same. Just a few feet too far.
Left sides go up. Jacob Smith off pit road. And we are going to bring Jacob Smith into the booth. Jacob, it's Alan and Shane up in the SRM booth. You got a copy?
Yep, got you guys loud and clear.
Hey, look, man, congratulations on that stage win. Take us through that.
Thanks, guys.
Take us through that stage and how the second stage is going to look for you.
Yeah, the start was a little hairy. It looks like Cody either spun or missed a shift, and I kind of got out to either second or third place by turn 2. Ended up passing Travis and just kind of saved my tires and was biding my time in case a yellow came out. So I think the plan was just to stay out the entire time, save a set of tires, and see what happens in stage 2. I just got rear-ended going into my pit box, so I don't think I'm going to be starting up front here, but it's definitely going to be a competitive stage 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, before we get you out of here, congratulations. Shane, you got anything for Jacob Smith before we get him down to his team?
I just had a quick question. Last week doing a little bit of an alternate pit and fuel strategy didn't work out for you. Tonight, are you going to be looking to do something similar or try to stick with what everyone else is doing?
Yeah, we'll see. Last week was just definitely a calculation error, but we'll see what happens this week. I think I know what I'm going to do, but haven't decided what's going to happen in the last stage. It depends on how the yellows come out.
All right, well good luck. We'll see you on the other side. There.
Thanks, guys.
And we're going to get him moved back down to Buddy Motorsports. And if he's wrong,
looks like our top 5 stayed out. They all pitted under that last caution about 17 laps ago.
Well, here we go. Green flag is back out. We're starting stage number 2. Kyle Purcell leads them down to the start finish line. We're on lap 50 of 180.
Yeah, I believe Ryan Paddy is
we got a big one.
Car.
And this is the times where I wish SDK would not mess up for us. SDKs are live timing. I do not have the capabilities of showing a replay on that, but that was about as bad as it will get.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can take a look back and see what happened. Even if we can't show it to you, at least we can tell you what.
Describe it?
Who was involved.
Kyle Purcell comes out, takes the early lead on that last restart here. Lap number 51, and that's not the way you want to start stage 2. Especially if you're running mid-pack, because we got a whole host of cars. Your stage 1 winner on pit road caught up in that one. Tay McDonald caught up in that one. Patrick Colby caught up on that one. Anthony Teseo caught up in that. Kevin Gunther, Nathan Finnegan, all victims of circumstance.
Yeah, it looks like it was actually our stage winner, Jacob Smith, Cameron Thompson, and Ryan Patty. 3 wide on turn entry, and I'm not sure everybody knew they were 3 wide. A little too much toothpaste for the tube, as I like to say. Behind them, Finnegan and a number of other drivers just caught up in the mess. Nowhere to go. Couldn't slow down fast enough.
Oh boy. Out of all the one-liners, that one has to be my favorite. I got a sense of humor. You gotta have a sense of humor with me.
Always.
Nonetheless, those drivers that you just mentioned off, their sense of humor is gone. They do not have a sense of humor now. And that's just a byproduct of hot racetrack, cold tires. And let's take a look at that weather real quick here, as it is 71 degrees here in the air, and the stands are 29%. Well, it's a dry heat, so the humidity doesn't matter, as Walter would say. And then it's 87 degrees on the racetrack as we get ready to go back to green. As the iRace.com pace car, pulls off on the pit road, we are going to go ahead for this restart here, Shane. And this is one of the favorite things I love to do here. We're going to go ahead and bring that up. There we go. Here on lap number 53, we're getting ready to come back to green. We are on board with John Ross out of Bell Buckle, Tennessee. The pride of Bell Buckle, Tennessee, John Ross here. We're getting ready to come back to Green Flag Racing. You're going to see John Ross come up through the gearbox. Second gear. Ooh, the 74 car. That's Sean Purcell gets a little into the 78 car, Brian Smith.
Caution's out already again.
Oh boy, they cannot get the stage going.
I think it's all-time great crew chief Larry Mack always says, cautions breed cautions. And we're seeing it here.
Well, they're breeding something. a lot of short fuses, I'm sure. So, and it's funny you mentioned that cautions breed cautions. We got to get rid of that. Cautions breed cautions, right? Here's the thing. So if you're Ray Lane, Bentley Glazer, Brian Smith, Kyle Purcell, Sean Purcell, or John Ross, anybody that's not getting involved in these cautions, you're like, come on. You're just wishing that they would get their act together back there in the back of the field. Look, we're still trying to get the tires warmed up, okay?
Yeah, again, I'm going to take a look back, and again, apologies that we can't get you the visual replay, but I can at least tell you who was involved. Looks like the 48 and the 72 get together on turn entry. As the 48 gets into the wall, it collects a handful of other drivers, including the 77 of Nathan Brzezowski. Again, that's Brad Delph in the 72 and John McNeil in the 48. Got that one started. Also caught up Charles Woods.
There's that number 98
driver. Just a few bent bumpers, but the names I mentioned are the folks that probably have some damage to repair.
You know what I say when we're short track racing? A lot of bent sheet metal and hurt feelings. Some guys definitely not going to be on each other's Christmas card list.
Like I mentioned, we start at Daytona, we go to Circuit of the Americas. This is really the first time guys have a chance to lean on each other, get those bumpers and fenders together, and this is also the point of the season, around the third race where you start picking out who your rival's going to be for the rest of the season. Who's that guy you always want to get around just because you want him to know you're one spot in front of him?
Well, Kyle Purcell would love to get around Ray Lane on the start here, as he had a pretty good restart those last couple of restarts, and Ray Lane would love to get the best of Kyle Purcell. But we'll never know if we don't get back to green flag racing as the lights are out on the speedway. The iRacing.com pace car. Shane, you're going to bring us right back to green, my friend.
All right, as I mentioned, that 01 of Kyle Purcell, 41 of Ray Lane, they still have not stopped. They are on 25 lap tires, but Bentley Glazer and Brian Smith in that second row, they have just 9 laps on their tires. So look for them to be aggressive to try and get out front. Pace truck coming down pit road. See guys cleaning off their tires, getting ready for this restart. And they're off. Purcell with a great jump. Ray Lane spun the tires down the dog leg as usual. Bentley Glazer up to P2. Brian Smith in P3 right on their tail.
I was going to say, it's funny. Now we actually made it 1 lap.
That's right. Well, yeah, let's wait till they get there. And there where they go. Okay. Looks like we might have a lap car up here in front of the leaders. But they are single file, shouldn't be any problem.
And here comes Sean Purcell, like you had mentioned. We got a lap car. We trying to find out who that is. That would be Heath Smith in a 1 car. Ooh, a little bit of lock up there from Bentley Glazer, locking up the tires. He's going to go under Sean Purcell. Give the lead to Bentley Glazer, and he's going to bring Brian Smith right along with him for that second position. There goes 3 wide, and Brian Smith thinking about a 2-for-1 special going on right now. Give him the blue light special.
Like I said, I think those fresher tires are really paying off. That's something to put in your notebook for later in the race. About 15 lap difference there. Some of those caution laps, but I'm not sure that matters too much. If you get on a restart later in the race, you're going to want 4 fresh tires so that you can be as aggressive as Glazer and Smith were right there.
Well, you mentioned the 4 fresh tires that Sean Purcell is lacking. You're starting to see, or Kyle rather is lacking. You're starting to see the disadvantage that he's under. These guys are putting on the proverbial hairnet and serving lunch to Kyle Purcell.
Purple car getting the fender put to them. Didn't see exactly who that was.
I think that might have been Zach Lockett back there in the number 93 car. As these
it was Ross.
Oh, John Ross.
I saw, yeah. Someone muscled him out of the way, it looked like.
Sometimes you got to use the bumper. Brian Smith back up here in the front. He's getting ready to go around the lap car there. And here comes Bentley Glazer to the inside of it. Looks like it's that 48 car. I had the wrong guy there last time.
Yeah, John McNeil going, looks like 2 laps down there.
So if I'm John McNeil, I'm calculating cautions to get back on the lead lap. I'm like, all right, if I'm 2 laps down, I need at least 3 cautions.
Yeah, 2 might be enough. We've got Nathan Finnegan is the only car 1 lap down in that lucky dog position. If the caution were to come out now, he would move up. McNeil could potentially, catch a wave round and then be in position for the lucky dog next. The only other car 2 laps down with him is Charles Woods in the 98.
Charles Woods out there running all by his lonesome. And that number 98 car, Purple Heart Homes, is the sponsor on that car. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, here's Brian Smith and Bentley Glazer. Whoa, we got trouble. And Louise Taylor checking in on the YouTube.com live chat, asking if we can show replays. Unfortunately, not tonight, as our live timing and scoring software decided it wanted to take a personal day. But we got a great storyteller with Shane Cochran, so.
Now let's see if we can track that one down. Ooh, I'm seeing the 93 of Zach Lockett involved, but he wasn't the start. Oh, no, just as we were talking about him, John McNeil kind of got caught in an awkward moment in the dogleg as cars were coming up on him a little faster than anyone was expecting. A couple cars checked up. They were 3 wide. The 74 of Sean Purcell made the first contact, but then there was a bit of a Talladega-style big one behind him. The 95 of Charles Widner involved. The 8 of Braxton Deweese.
Well, we're going to take a minute while they're under caution, maybe. No, actually, we're going to go ahead and step aside and go to commercial break while these guys are under caution. We're going to go side by side. You won't miss a thing here on Sim Racing Media. We'll be right back.
15, the 01, get it started. They didn't agree on where the braking point was on entry. And Ryan Patty and Jacob Smith also making some minor contact and reacting to the other guys going around. Glad we could get that worked out. There's a lot of bumper to bumper, fender to fender action here in the Icon Cup Series at Phoenix. Yeah, unfortunately, a handful of cars back here that we saw at the front earlier in the race getting caught up in one of those earlier cautions. Deweese appears to be missing his rear bumper. Jacob Smith missing his whole front bumper and radiator grill and everything. Yeah, it keeps it cool, but it sure doesn't give you much downforce. '71. Making contact there with the 71 of Philip Badarka, collecting a handful of other cars along the way. I mean, we had such a clean stage one, and stage two quite the opposite. You are correct. No fast repairs here at Icon. I mean, it's March in Phoenix. I'm not sure. It's very Christmassy, but if you're feeling generous, I'm happy about it. That's the third straight restart where Brian Smith has just gotten a tremendous, perfect start there. When you're the leader here at Phoenix, I think it really pays off to know when it's time to go. Whoa. Levron getting loose, but he saves it. Not an easy task in the next-gen Cup car. Usually once it starts going around, it's hard to get wrangled. Yeah, you've got to wonder if he just had a, maybe made a small mistake in qualifying, because he sure has the speed here. Michael Taylor right behind him, up in that 6th position. As advertised, I have not been there myself, but I do have a lot of friends from the Midwest, and that's what I hear. Yeah, it seems like right when you find the lane you like, your tires change, or you get a car in front of you running the same line, and you got to do something different. I was hoping we'd make it to the stage break at lap 90, but not quite.
Do you know the number to a chiropractor? Because we're gonna need one. He's gonna need it.
I don't, but I can ask my wife. But yeah, I think we've been talking about this dog leg and how dangerous it is all night. and it finally bit someone, and that was the 15 car.
Well, we're going to see wholesale pit stops, and when we come out, we're going to talk to Stage 2 winner, Brian Smith in the 78 car. So Stage 1 going to Jacob Smith, and Stage 2 going to Brian Smith.
No contact on pit road this time. Well, as the cars look a little more spaced out.
Yeah, we're just awaiting the stage winner to come off pit road. As the left side goes up, he's going to get for Dr. Feelgoods, and he is making that long trek down pit road. Concentrate. We are going to go ahead and bring up our stage 1 or stage 2 winner, and Shane, you have Brian Smith in the broadcast booth with you.
Hey, Brian, you got Shane and Alan in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys. How's it going?
It's going great. I mean, that first stage was pretty clean. A lot of green flag racing. Stage 2, anything but. Tell us what it's like out there.
It's kind of crazy on these restarts. You know, you got guys that stayed out at the end of that first stage, and that was a questionable call, and obviously that led to a lot of good cars getting taken out of the race. So that kind of sucked, but I was obviously able to navigate my way through it, and yeah, we're sitting pretty good right now. We'll just have to see how the rest of this thing goes.
Awesome. Can you give us maybe a little preview? Don't give away your secrets, but what's going to be your strategy here in the final stage?
Yeah, stay out front and save tire. It's really that simple. Just gotta, whatever that yellow is, that I'm gonna have to put more tires on this thing. Maybe one more time, maybe 2 more times. We'll have to see how that goes, but just nailing that and staying out front and not overdriving it.
Yeah, you look especially strong on restarts, getting some really good jumps there on the other cars. Do you have a secret to doing that, or is it just kind of feeling it out?
I always think I've been pretty good on restarts, so just being confident in it and knowing when to underdrive that entry into turn 1. Tires are cold, and just got to take it easy on that first lap.
All right, well, we'll let you get back to it as you come back to the green flag. Have a great night.
Thanks, guys.
And there you heard from Brian Smith, your stage 2 winner, rather. As we go through the Geico restart zone, Brian Smith, Ray Lang coming to the start finish line. We're back to green flag racing. And Shane, this will be the longest stage of the race. Now I feel like we can go racing.
Yeah, right on cue. Brian Smith jumps out to a really comfortable lead. They're 2 by 2 behind him. And like you said, it is easier to save tires when you're out front by yourself. Clean air, no one pushing your door in, rubbing you up in the fence. The Bentley Glazer fighting his way back up to P2.
3 wide. Ray Lane, Michael Taylor, and Cody Neal all go 3 wide. And they finally get it sorted out. And, oh, we got trouble. No caution yet, but we definitely do got a car into the wall. I don't see what happened there, but we're going to stay green. As Brian Smith, there's the caution. Okay. Let's see what happened to Ethan Van Colley. And oh no. Tough break for that driver. Single car spin will trigger the caution. Brad Delph into the wall here at lap 96. This is what I was alluding to earlier. We stayed green after this one, but here we go. 72 car. Oh, man. Wow.
Yeah, kind of a strange turn of events there.
You know, here's the thing I don't understand. That earlier that incident with the 72 car and didn't cause the caution, but you know the one with the 85 car did. It's the way iRacing goes, I guess.
Yeah, definitely a little higher speed contact with the 85, but not sure why. Sometimes iRacing just decides it's not time for a caution.
Well, here we are, as the temperature's pretty much staying the same there, with the 71 degree ambient temperature as I get hooked on phonics once again. But I'm hooked on phonics and not anything else, but 71 degree ambient temperature, you know, Shane, this is what I like to call a Chamber of Commerce type afternoon here. You can't draw this up any better, and we're not in the Midwest, so the humidity doesn't really matter because it's a dry heat. And it is a comfortable 83 degrees on the track right now. As we check on the weather once again. Brought to you by your local meteorologist. But we're almost to the century mark. We're going to have, 83 to go when we come back to Green Flag Racing. And as we mentioned before, this is the longest stage of the race, the final stage. And, I mean, it's almost like the stage 3 is beginning like stage 2, where we run a couple laps under caution, run a couple laps under caution. As a driver, Shane, I know you drive in multiple leagues, but what does that do to your mentality, you know, getting up to speed and then coming back to green and going back to caution?
Well, it probably depends on where you are in the field. If you're Brian Smith out in front leading, it just kills your, you know, all your good vibes. You're feeling comfortable up there. You want to keep it green. If you're in the back, though, and having a bad day, this might be the extra caution you need to get some repairs done, to get a wave around, to get a lucky dog, and it can reinvigorate your night. So we're back green.
Brian Smith gets the whole shot, working lap 99, and Brian Smith's got 99 problems, but the second place car is at 1.
Michael Taylor looking down low. He's been steadily moving up. I feel like every time we mention him, he's 1 or 2 positions higher than the last.
Well, he's got the lead set in his sights. So we got 82 laps to go, rather, as we attempt to do St. Louis math. Make that 81 laps to go. But Bentley Glazer biding his time out there on the outside. He's mired to the outside. He'd love to be able to choose his line as he tries to clear. That number 08 car with Michael Taylor. As we're 3 wide in the back here, even around Kyle Gilbert in that area. But look who's up here waiting like a lion in the waiting, and that's John Ross, just doing John Ross type things. John Ross is very smooth right now. Well, Bentley Glazer falling back to that P4. And now we're seeing where the dog leg can give us.
Yeah, big shakeup from the race last year. Nathan Finnegan won that one. He's a couple laps down at this point, getting some repairs. Just 1 lap, pardon me. Ryan Patty finished 2nd. He was in a couple of those wrecks, fighting his way back up. He's in the top 10. Charles Widner will round out the podium, and I believe he's been in the pits for 35 laps, getting some repairs done. Don't think he's got a shot at the victory tonight either.
Yeah, we got a little over 78 laps to go here. And you're starting to see these guys. Tay McDonald fighting his way back up there. He is just outside of the top 10. And right behind him is that 28 car, Patrick Colby. He's up 11 spots from where he started at. Ray Lane knocking on the top 5. Kyle Gilbert says, you keep on knocking, but you can't come in. Whoa, gets a little loose, out of shape.
Couple guys trying to get under him there. The 44 and the 2. Going to make it 3 wide. Woo.
And Shane, that's what I like to call that 2-for-1 special, buddy.
got me nervous.
Look, it gets me nervous all the time. I make myself nervous. Brian Smith out there doing Brian Smith things, getting ready to come up on that 72 car of Brad Delph. Now, Brad Delph will most likely scoot on over and let Brian Smith boot scoot and boogie right on by. As Brian Smith committing himself to that dog leg and cutting it.
Yeah, Brad 1 lap down, going 2 down now. As I mentioned, that leaves Nathan Finnegan as the only car 1 lap down. Potentially the lucky dog.
As we got a little bit of side-by-side action going on here. Kyle Gilbert battling with John Ross, and this is a battle for that 6th position. Ryan Patty catches a little bit of the wall. That doesn't move.
Yeah. Kyle Gilbert got loose there, got into that car in front of him, but both of them were able to save it. He's going to lose a few positions, though.
I mean, this is the most... This action right here is the most action that we've seen in a Waffle House at 3 a.m.
I think you're going to the wrong Waffle House, Alan.
Hey, look, I love my Waffle House references, okay? Jay McDonald commits himself all the way to the bottom. Lap 108, 107 laps into the books, and we are on the closing ends of this stage. As right now,
Brad. We saw a caution earlier as a lap car got, dropped back through the field like this. Hopefully everybody learned from that one. Giving lots of space. Looks like Brad is being really polite as well, letting everybody by.
Yeah, I mean, it's real easy to be in the way in these short tracks. I'm in the way most days, but nonetheless, it's easy to be in the way. And
especially here at Phoenix, they get 6 and 7 wide on the dog leg, but on turn exit, there's really only 2 good lanes, so you can get in the way in a hurry. So we have another yellow flag.
3 guesses on who brought it out, and first 2 don't count. Ooh.
Wow.
All by himself. I believe that was a hardware failure.
That almost looked like a flat tire or something. You could see him get loose and save it, and then just a second later, lose it again.
Well, you ask and you shall receive. And as we run it back.
Yeah, right there. Oh, I think he was loose a little earlier in the turn as well, and sometimes it's all about heat. You get too much heat in the rear tires, hard to get that grip back.
Well, with that being said, they're going to go down and take wholesale pit stops. And that means we're going to take a wholesale pit stop, and we're going to go side by side. But you won't miss a thing here on Sim Racing Media. We'll be right back. welcome back to Avondale, Arizona, as we are watching the Icon Cup Series here take on this 1 mile raceway here, Phoenix. Alan Bergen and Shane Cochran with you every step of the way. And Shane, right now, John Ross finds himself out front, up 7 spots, doing what John Ross does best, and that is controlling the pace of a race. Ray Lane.
Yeah, this was a. I was just gonna say this was a pretty wild restart here. There were 4 cars that stayed out on old tires. Jonathan Ross was one of them, as we see Ray Lane take the lead. Lane taking 2 tires on the pit stop, setting him up for some better track position. And Brian Smith really kind of got caught up in traffic on the restart. As we see a car getting sideways and into the wall behind them. Glazer and Smith working their way up past these guys who are on older tires or 2 tires.
Yeah, here we are. It's 60, a little over 59 laps to go here in this one. Ray Lane, like I said, up 10 spots. Brian Smith finds himself back there in that second position. Bentley Glazer, we can't say enough about Bentley Glazer here, who's battling pretty hard right now with John Ross. And then here, look, here we go. Ryan Patty gets caught up in the proverbial big one. I'm fairly confident gets all the damage fixed. As Kyle Gilbert goes for the slide for life, gets a little loose, and figures out that, hey, you can drift these cars.
Yeah, John Ross really paying the price here for those older tires now, but like I said, put that in your notebook for later. Even on old tires, you've got about 4 laps that you can probably maintain the lead if you need it on a late restart.
Yeah, so, to your point is Kyle Gilbert gets it all gathered back up, and, he figures it out, gets his bearing back about himself. Ray Lane finds himself back out to the front with a 1-second lead over Brian Smith. Now, Ray Lane's one of those drivers, watching this series, from the drop of the green flag at Daytona, he's one of those drivers that you don't suspect will be in the front all the time. But this racetrack sort of suits his driving style, as his teammates with Tay McDonald and Travis Gilbert in the 22 car and the 40 and the 29 cars respectively down there. And here he is making things happen.
Yeah, that 41 Mustang looks really good out front in clean air. See how long those 2 tires last as Brian Smith is starting to fog up his mirror.
Absolutely, and it looks like if we go through the field, Ray Lane there up in the lead. He's going to get underneath Brad Delph. Brad Delph's going to let these guys go on by. There you got Brian Smith in that number 78 car. He's currently running second right now to Ray Lane, trying to get everything out of this run. And, this is the longest stage of the race here. Then we got Bentley Glazer right there in that number 87 car, that Mountain Dew car. And he's running a not really distant third, but being really respectful, just kind of biding his time. Down 1 spot is Ryan Patty in that number 30 car, the DeWalt sponsored machine. Running out your top 5 so far is Cody Neal, not Colby Neal, Cody Neal, in that 38 car. And then right behind him, John Ross in that number 44 car. Currently running 6th, or 7th rather, is Tay McDonald, the 2024 ECR champion. And then up 32 spots, who would I like to call the biggest mover of the race, Sean Purcell in that number 74 Toyota Toyota Camry. Kyle Diaz up 7 spots, currently running 9th. And that number 26 is at the track for Dark Horse Mustang. The 227 car in the 10th, running your top 10 right now will be where we find Kyle Gilbert in a 227 car. Kendall Levron will be running, is currently running in that 11th position. Michael Jennings is currently running 12th, up 8 spots, while Nathan Broskowski is currently running up 13th, up 8 spots. Patrick Colby in the number 28 car, he is currently up 9 spots, running 14th. Cody Eldridge, up 24 spots, is currently running 15th. Michael Taylor in that 08 car holding his own back there. Pretty solid in that 16th spot. 17th will be Steve Tuck right now. As Evan Pecco will be running in that 18th position, that 81 car. Brock Hersey.
Patinko, Alan, just wanted to help you out there.
Thank you. I'm butchering names. I'm butchering names like I butchered turkey on Thanksgiving. Currently up 13 spots in that 19th position is Brock Hersey. Jacob Smith, your stage 1 winner, currently resides in that 20th position, down 15 spots. Braxton DeWeese is currently down 15 spots, also running in 21st. Zach Lockett is a name I'm quite familiar with in that number 93 car, as he is down 5 spots, running in 22nd. And there it is, the 99 car of Robert Boeing, running in that 23rd spot, but he's up 14 spots. Anthony Cecile out there by himself. Nathan Finnegan, well, he's minding his own, staying out of everybody's way, running 25th. Brad Delph, he's currently up 5 spots, running in that 26th position. John McNeil runs in the, currently resides in the 27th position. And there he is, Adam Ball in that number 19 car, all on his own. Charlie Widener got most of his damage fixed up, and he currently resides in the 29th position. Kyle Purcell currently runs in that, he's in that 31st position. Charlie Widener is called it a night and put it on the truck with a fun meter bag, as well as Philip Predekra, Chris Camburn, and then a whole list of other drivers of Hollingsworth, Hanover Fist, Nyman, Thompson, Gunther, Taylor, Travis Gilbert put it on the hauler. So that takes us through the field. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, Brian Smith doing Brian Smith things, looking to take stage 2 and the win, as we got just over 45 laps to do it. Ray Lane currently runs about a half second behind Brian Smith and Bentley Glazer, just right on his tail. Almost giving Ray Lane the business.
Yeah, I mean, for as many laps as we've been on track since those last pit stops now, just over, what's about 25 laps. Ray Lane's 2-tire strategy is holding on pretty well. He wasn't able to hold off Brian Smith for the lead, but he is sitting here in P2 in a great position as we come down to 1, maybe 2 more stops here in this race.
I'm sure Brian Smith's going to try to do it in 1. Now, here's the thing. When I start trying to figure out pit strategy, fuel strategy, I zig and they zag. They zag and I zig. But right now, up there in the lead, Brian Smith is sitting high, wide, and handsome. Just running his race. Everybody's just kind of single filed out. Now we're starting to get these groups forming. I mean, this is not the only track that's going to be like this that they figure that they visit. They'll be coming to New Hampshire, Worldwide Technology Raceway. I mean, the series for the most part will follow the actual NASCAR Cup Series schedule.
Yeah, this is the part of the race where I'm talking to my spotter, my crew chief, and I'm saying, hey, what's that guy up there doing different than me? When do you think he's going to pit? When do you think I should pit? We had a lot of cautions and accidents earlier in the race. Now it kind of settled in. You have time to think about what's going to be your plan to finish this race and try to get up into the lead.
Yeah, exactly. And, Shane, I'm so fortunate. I'm honored to be able to cover this race tonight. Jonathan Leach checking in YouTube.com live chat, making a comment on my 99 Problems comment, and he said that might be the most clever thing I've said. I say a lot of clever things, Ask my wife. She'll tell you. But
Yeah, really getting spaced out here. A little bit of action. Cody Neal looking inside. Ryan Petty, he loses it through the dog leg.
that was Cody Neal that lost that through the dog leg. And he gathers it back up. Doesn't look like there's any damage on that car. That's definitely going to hurt him. Teddy McDonald's having the best run here in the Icon Series to date. And this is a track that really suits him. Now, Shane, you know, later on in the season, when we get to tracks like Iowa and those short tracks like, Richmond, Bristol, you're going to see Teddy McDonald, and it's almost going to be like he's going to want to run up front all the time, even on these short tracks. These short tracks really suit his style of driving. And Zach Lockett's giving pursuit. Zach Lockett a number of laps down.
Looks like the caution's out again. I think it's the 15.
And I think you might be right. Steve Tuck is going to get down to the wall. There we go.
Oh,
Just found it.
that's Michael Taylor.
John
Ross
Ross.
getting caught up. Again, I think it was the 15 car was the first one to go around, and these guys got collected in it.
We caught the tail end, so we're going to roll it back. Oh, the 15 had already... Okay.
Yeah, as everybody's coming down pit road. I did go back and find that replay of Cody Neal losing it in the dogleg. Alan, if you want to go back, we can ride along with him and see just how treacherous that Phoenix dogleg can be.
Ooh, and that's going to end Anthony Cecilio's day. So we're going to have wholesale pit stop. Cody Neal on pit road. Everybody's on pit road to be exact. Brian Smith's going to win the race off. Ray Lane's going to be second. Shane, this is what I like to do.
What's that?
Oh. I like to have a little bit of ADHD every once in a while. Look, it happens. Let's see, where are we at? Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, good. We got time. We are going to go ahead and talk to Ray Lane. Ray Lane, it's Alan and Shane up in the SRM booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, look, real quick, we're getting ready to go back to green. What's going to be your strategy to get around Brian Smith?
It's going to be hard. He's very good. I'm just happy to be racing against him and happy to be with my team. So,
Well, it looks like we caught you at a bad time, but we just wanted to see what your strategy was going to be, and we'll get you back down to your team and let you finish this one out.
all right. Sounds good.
And that was the voice of Ray Lane. As we get ready to come back to green through the Geico restart zone, Brian Smith, Ray Lane, and here comes Bentley Glazer Lap 147 and 180. We are into the nitty gritty of this one.
Cody Neal thought about looking underneath, and now he's going to do it.
Thought you were going to say some things like he thought better of it, but he really didn't.
No, now's the time to go.
I mean, now we're going to see that sense of urgency just pick up.
Oh, it's a car sideways, but saves it. Back behind him in the dog leg. A lot of cold tires out there right now, but a lot of aggression. A lot of desperation as we come down to this. Could be the final fuel run. I think if you're smart about fuel, you ought to be able to make it from here.
Got me. Ray Lane dropping positions, his bleeding position. Like the Chevy commercial, like a rock, he is falling. And his teammate back there, Tay McDonald, getting ready to strap on that proverbial hairnet and serve lunch. But Sean Purcell in that 74 car is on the business side of Tay McDonald's car. And these guys are battling it out, and that's a battle for 5th position. 31 to go.
Side by side there for 5th.
I think I should say for the viewers at home, this is like jet planes in the gymnasium right now. And this is definitely not the time you want to be laying back and just riding around. You got to start making moves. We got 30 laps to go. It's time to put up or shut up.
Oh, little bumper contact there. Everyone seems okay about it.
Well, just as you say that, Brian Smith puts up the fastest lap of the race with almost a sub 27 lap.
The two guys behind him put down their personal fastest laps of the race as well. So everybody pushing for everything they've got, digging deep.
Yeah, here we go. 28 laps to go here in this one. I mean, we're almost to a Saturday night A main as we're looking a little bit deeper in the field. Sean Purcell giving Tay McDonald a hard time there. Sean Purcell so far the biggest mover of the race, picking up 34 spots and standing pat. Side job.
It looks like he's finally able to clear him. They were side by side for almost 6 laps. You can see the gap that put between them and the other top 4 drivers. As I mentioned earlier, anytime you're side by side, you are cooking your tires and you are losing time. So you really want to get around someone fast if you can.
And that's where that dog leg, that's where I feel like we're at an advantage with the dog leg. Is that dog leg would allow Tay McDonald to get in front of Sean Purcell in that 74 car and get him cleared pretty quickly. Now, Sean Purcell did not do Tay McDonald any favors.
No, I think the time for favors is over. Just 25 laps to go. Business time.
Oh, it's been business time all along. Here comes Bentley Glazer looking to make something happen here. Trying to run down that half-second gap to Brian Smith. There's your eyeball test. And guess who he's bringing with him? He's bringing Cody Neal with him.
Both Glazer and Neal faster than Smith just by a smidge that last lap. For the most part, these top 3 are matching lap times with each other.
Yeah, Brian Smith continues to do Brian Smith type things. Ray Lane runs a distant 4th. He's furthest back, and that's less than a second and a half from the leader. And you know, if Tay McDonald or Ray Lane want to have a shot at Brian Smith, Shane, well, I guess I love to say it, but the sands of the hourglass are definitely running out for Ray Lane and Tay McDonald.
Yeah, you know, it almost seems like his car was better on 2 tires. than it is on 4. He was really able to hold on to the second place position for a long time that last run. But hey, he could be just saving a little bit more than these guys, hoping that they'll burn their stuff up battling, trying to chase Smith down, and maybe he can get around him a little later.
So we have 23 laps to go here from Phoenix. And right now, there's your difference. There's your pit strategy. There's your stint length. That's the top 10. That's the tire difference.
Yeah, I mean, it sure looks like they're all on the same strategy, at least the first 8.
Yeah,
No gambles have really paid off tonight.
no, and everybody's, just minding their P's and Q's. Just be there at the end. As we got 21 laps to go. And I tell you what, just Brian Smith has been an absolute mastermind at saving tires. He's now opened up that 1 second gap over Cody Neal. Bentley Glazer falling almost to the clutches of Ray Lane. And this is the best that Ray Lane has ran. We got 20 laps to go here from Phoenix. Want to thank once again everybody for joining us here in the youtube.com live chat. Jonathan Leach wanting to know if there's a difference in the tire age among the leaders, and we just showed that graphic for you, as my math normally doesn't math on Sunday nights, or it really doesn't math any night.
You've got to go all the way back to 14th to get a different tire, and it's Ryan Patty just 3 laps longer, basically one of those quick cautions longer on tires than everyone else. Otherwise, everyone is 17 laps into this run with 19 laps remaining.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Brock Kersey there, that 24 car, that slick licking number 24 car. What a good run for a lot of these drivers. We have 21 cars on the lead lap right now. 18 laps to go. 18 miles to go. But make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, hit those bells ringing, so that way you're notified every time that Sim Racing Media comes on air. Cody Neal up to second position, 1 second back. And, the sands of the hourglass are essentially running out for Cody Neal also. And, this is the proof of the pudding. Cody Neal out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, he is shifting. Maybe not. He's riding there in 4th gear. Shane, on a short track, I would like to say that, maybe 5th gear is kind of like an overdrive if you need a little extra oomph to get by somebody. There you go. Now he's shifting down the back straightaway.
Yeah, the way that I like to shift is just like Cody is doing here as we ride along here at Phoenix. You get into 5th on the back stretch, on the front stretch. Looks like you can just leave it in 4th there. But the downshift is actually a maneuver to help the car turn on entry. At this point in the run, the cars are probably pretty tight. Your tires are starting to wear out.
There's that
You'll
shift.
see him drop it down into 4th right there, and that almost gets those rear tires to lose grip, but it helps the car turn in the same way that you would normally use, a lot of rear brake bias on a short track to get that car to rotate.
Now, when we go to Bristol and Martinsville, I'm about 95.9999999% certain that these guys will probably just throw it in 4th and leave it there.
Yeah, I think the big difference there is that on a shorter track, you don't even have time to get to 5th gear, much less do too much shifting. But, especially when you're on different tire strategies and different fuel strategies, sometimes shifting can be literally a lever you can pull to gain an advantage.
To be right along in that 3rd place car, Bentley Glazer, who might be doing something a little bit different than the leader. And we're going to see him go 4th gear, maybe all the way around.
Could be. You know, I'm a little curious, Alan. Do you know how much they pay the cameraman to lean out the window like that?
Well, I can tell you what, SRM does not pay workman's comp, so it's a volunteer position. He's on his own.
Yeah,
We
an
make him
intern.
sign a waiver.
You know, Cody Neal is trimming that lead down. It was 0.8 for a long time, and now it's closer to 6 or 0.7. He's finding a little bit of speed on Brian Smith.
And it looks like Tay McDonald had just a little bit of a connection issue. That'll wreak havoc on these guys as they try to finish this one out. 11 laps to go from Phoenix. Shane Cochran, Alan Bergen bringing you all the action. From the green flag to, well, and 11 short laps will be the checkered flag. Tay McDonald still battling connection issues. And, you know, here in the Season 2 update, we're going to get a new flag, the connection flag, here on the service. And that's going to be where iRacing just automatically pulls you into the pits. You fix your connection. You're going to lose a ton of laps doing it, or you can ghost drive until your internet gets a little bit better. 10 laps to go.
Nothing can make you more nervous than when you're right on a guy's bumper and he disappears and comes back 5 seconds later on your left.
Well, yeah, and, you know, I've been in plenty of races myself. Jonathan Leach saying what? Yeah, the connection flag. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, Alan, talking about in this next release for iRacing, they're going to have a system in place to flag people who have a bad connection, you know, a bad ping, and are blinking out excessively will actually get automatically moved to their pit stall by iRacing, and they will be given an opportunity to fix their connection. I'm not sure exactly what measurement iRacing is going to use to say that it's fixed. Once it's fixed, you can rejoin the race, or before it's fixed, you can opt to go into just ghost racing so that you can get some laps in without progressing through the race.
Yeah,
the aim just to make it a little more safer for folks and remove the frustration as the yellow flag is out with just 7 laps to go. This changes everything, Alan.
This changes a whole lot. Here we go. On board. Oh, catches the wall. And
that almost felt like another flat tire. We kind of saw another car get up into the wall. I didn't feel out of control in the turn there and just drifted up to the wall.
well, here we go. And Sean Purcell. It looks like, yeah, dude, that's a flat tire all day long.
Either that or maybe the 74 is trying to get out of their way. And that Kyle Gilbert maybe was thinking he'd stay where he was and he could shoot around the top.
Yeah, not happening.
Seeing, looks like this 74 picked up a meatball there on that accident. And the 77 has just received a black flag. Not sure what for.
Well, we are under caution with 6 laps to go.
You know, this race did have a 24 incident point limit before you started getting penalty drive-throughs. You got to think with all the carnage we've seen tonight, at least a few drivers hit that 24-point max.
I've been there. I've hit a few maxes. But nonetheless, we have 6 laps to go. And that chain is going to more than likely, once we come back to green, we're going to have a 4 to 5 lap shootout. You know, I imagine this would be a quickie caution.
This is going to be really fun to watch. 8 cars have stayed out on track with 30-lap old tires. Brian Smith, Ryan Patty, and everybody behind them from 9th on back just came down pit lane. They are going to be pushing as hard as you can go. It looks like Brian probably just took 2 tires. We saw how well that worked for Ray Lane earlier in the race. Ryan Patty also taking 2 tires. Like I said, they are going to be in the 5th row on this restart. The first folks with fresh tires.
We're going to go on board with Bentley Glazer to see how he comes up through the gears. Here on this, what hopefully will be the last restart with 4 laps to go. Shane, it's going to be a 4-lap shootout, and I hope you're ready.
This is going to be great. I mean, I'm even seeing Jacob Smith is in 8th position with no front bumper.
And he
Great
said he
recovery
would have.
for him.
He said he'd have issues.
We'll see how it goes on the restart.
On board Bentley Glazer as we get ready to come through the Geico restart zone. 3, 2, 1, green, 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 and up to the gearbox we go. Bentley
Cody Neal with
Glazer.
a great jump. Bentley following him. Ray Lane right on their bumper. Everybody charging hard. They all seem to push up a little bit in the corner. And we can already see Brian Smith back there at the corner of the shot. He is coming.
Here comes Brian Smith. Cody Neal doing Cody Neal things, sitting high, wide in hands, and we got 3 laps to go. Just 3. Does Ray Lane and Tay McDonald have anything for Glazer and Neal?
And they're going to be too wide in front of Brian there. That's going to hurt his chances to charge up through him.
I think.
Patting on the inside of him.
Oh boy, here we go. 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks are in the air. If we can make it. Oh! Ray Lane into the wall.
In the wall.
No caution. No caution. Cody Neal getting ready to come to the white flag. Popsicle sticks go down. The white flag comes out, and we are racing back to checkers. Tim McDonald gets loose.
Oh.
That doesn't matter.
Brian Smith up to P2. He is right there. How far into turn 3 can he go to get to the bumper of Cody Neal?
Ryan Petty going to catch the wall. Brian Smith, one last ditch effort. Will it be enough? Here they come out of 4. And Cody
Side by
Neal.
side. Woo!
Oh man, Cody
Holy
Neal.
cow.
Brian Smith and Bentley Glazer will round out your top 3. And we got a lot to digest.
Yeah, it was just 30-some laps ago that we were talking about Cody Neal sideways in the dogleg.
Well, there's Tay McDonald. Let's back this up and see what happened there. Here we go. This is Tay McDonald here coming through the dogleg, and Ryan Petty, just gets loose, and Ryan just happens to be there.
Yeah, I think that's the difference of fresh tires and old tires. The
And
closing
then-
rate just got him.
Here is Kyle Gilbert in the 227 car. I love the spotter stand, but it's always in the way.
Yeah, you're going to have to move that blimp over or something.
Look, I'm not flying it. Oh, boy.
Oh, Ray Lane catching another hunk of contact there.
But meanwhile, celebrating is Cody Neal. And we're going to go ahead and get these guys on. Oh, man. Cody Neal's just celebrating. As it is a Buddy Motorsports 1-2 finish. And we are going to go ahead and chat with our winner. And Shane, you have Cody Neal in the booth with you.
Hey, Cody, this is Shane. You got a copy?
I got a copy, guys.
All right. How about that? 2-tire stop. Somewhere in there, you stay out there with Brian coming down pit road. Tell me about that decision and how nervous were you that it would work out or not?
I actually took 4 there at our last stop. I just figured the run would be too long, and it was, and it worked out. And then that last yellow, I obviously just stayed out. I mean, Brian almost got to me, which I figured he would, and he definitely did. Just another half lap, he had me. But glad to be here in Victory Lane and be celebrating with the boys.
Yeah, just a phenomenal ending to a carnage-filled race. It was only 30-some laps ago. We saw you sideways through the dog leg, able to keep it out of the wall. What happened there?
Oh my! It bottomed out, and I had to lock it down. I tried avoiding the pit exit cone, which I thankfully missed. But more importantly, missed the wall, which was the big part. But yeah, that was a big moment in the race. I thought for sure it was over. I thought it was going to go green the rest of the way, but it did not, which ended up working out for me.
It was a beautiful save, and we saw you doing some beautiful donuts there on the front stretch. Congrats again on the win. Anybody you want to give some shout outs and thanks to?
Yeah, Brian Smith and Jacob Smith and Michael Taylor, all the boys with the team, putting in the work throughout the week. You know, they really dedicated this year, hoping to see some team improvements. So hopefully we can keep it up.
Yeah, congrats again, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
And on the other end of that 1-2 Buddy Motorsports finish, Brian Smith. Brian, how's it going?
Not great. I feel like I just threw a race away, but I guess it's a P2 kind of night. I don't think I was the fastest car tonight, but a lot of the good cars got taken out, and I still feel like I should have won after that. But yeah, just made the wrong call.
Well, hey man, you drove it, back to the front multiple times. It looks up here in the booth like you passed a whole lot of cars. But take us through that win. Were you, at that point, on the white flag, were you just trying to protect your teammate, or were you, if you had the chance to, were you going to try to get underneath him and make a move?
I definitely wasn't trying to protect him. I might have raced him a little different than just some random guy out front. Could have won it if I wanted to drive through him and, wreck him, but I didn't want to win it that way. Cody was fast tonight, and he made the right strategy call. I made the wrong one. I wasn't going to wreck him and take the win from him away like that. But, yeah, just thought more people would pit. I don't know why people don't pit in this league when late race yellows come out, but it is what it is.
Well, hey, man, before we get you out of here, is there anybody that you'd like to thank to help get you here tonight?
Yeah, all my teammates. Cody was obviously fast, and Jacob was fast. Mike was fast. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to Waylon for making this awesome Expedition Portal paint. And thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast, and shout out to everyone watching.
All right, well, we'll see you on the next one. Go celebrate that P2 finish for your team, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, thanks, guys.
And last but certainly not least tonight, the drivers at number 87 car and finishing third on the podium. Shane, you are with Bentley Glazer.
Hey Bentley, how you doing? Congratulations on the podium.
Thank you, doing good.
We were watching you stay pretty much up front all race long. Walk us through, how you decide, are we taking tires, are we staying out? It happened multiple times, and how'd you survive all the carnage tonight?
Just luck, really. Missed that big wreck at the start, and I just did what the leaders did. I thought I thought more people would stay out than 10, so it worked out.
Absolutely. But yeah, there were 13 cautions. Glad you were able to keep it clean. Congrats again on third place. Anybody you want to give some thanks and shout outs to?
Thanks, Brian Patty, for having me in the league, and thank you guys for broadcasting, and thanks to all my teammates at OGR.
All right, that Mountain Dew machine was looking sharp. I'm not sure I've ever seen a bad Mountain Dew scheme, but that one looked especially good tonight. Congrats again, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, and that was the voice of Bentley Glazer. Well, Shane, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up and get out of here. Before we do, we got just a couple quick housekeeping things we got to take care of. let's go over that finishing order. There we go. Cody Neal will park it on the podium here tonight, while Brian Smith will. Cody Neal will park it in Victory Lane, while Brian Smith will put it P2. Running out your top 3 will be Bentley Glazer. Ryan Patty will finish 4th, while Patrick Colby will round out your top 5. Kyle Diaz will finish 6th. Michael Jennings will finish 7th. Cody Eldred will get the hard charger tonight, as he will finish 8th, up 31 spots. Well, Kendall Levron will finish 9th. Rounding out your top 10 will be Braxton DeWeese. Jacob Smith will finish 11th, while Steve Tuck will finish 12th. 13th will go to Evan Patinko, while Robert Bluin will finish in that 14th spot. Michael Taylor will finish 15th, while Ray Lane will finish 17th. Ray Hersey will finish at 17th, while Kyle Gilbert will round out to your top 18. Looking a little deeper into the field, 19th will go to Tay McDonald, while Nathan Broskowski will finish 20th. 21st will go to Zach Lockett. 22nd will go to Nathan Finnegan. Brad Delph will finish 23rd. John McNeil will finish 24th. Sean Purcell will bring it home 25th. 26th will go to Adam Ball. Charles Woods will finish 27th. Rounding out your top 28 starters will be Kyle Purcell. Finishing 29th will be Adam Tiseo. Sean Ross will finish 30th. 31st will go to Evan Van Coley. Travis Gilbert will finish 32nd. Charlie Widener will finish 33rd. Kevin Gunther will finish 34th, while Philip Berderka finishes 35th. Chris Camburn will finish 36th. C. Thompson will finish in that 37th position. Hanover Fist will finish 38th, while Waylon Turner will win the race to the beer stand. Not taking time tonight will be Jay Hollingsworth, D. Nyman, and T. Taylor. In that 42nd position. Well, Shane, it's been a fun night here. I'm honored that I got to sit in the booth with you. It's been a real honor and a blast. Before we get out of here, is there any last things that you would like to say here before we close her out for the night?
Yeah, same here, Alan. Happy to be in the booth with you here with the Icon Cup Series. This was just a race that had it all. We saw a lot of bumper to bumper action. We saw some pit strategy, some tight racing at the end of the stages. This was a perfect race, a good example of why NASCAR often chooses Phoenix for their championship.
Well, as we get out of here, next week we will have Jonathan Leach will be back in the booth, and I will be watching from my living room. But before, as the late great Tony Trapasso would always say, as you walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.